Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the one and only Louis Armstrong, a jazz legend whose impact on music and American culture is still felt to this day. With his charismatic stage presence, raspy vocals, and virtuosic trumpet playing, Armstrong became an international sensation, breaking down racial barriers and redefining the sound of popular music. Born on August 4, 1901, in a small shotgun house at 723 North Rampart Street in New Orleans' 7th Ward, Louis Daniel Armstrong was the grandson of slaves and the son of William Armstrong and Mary Ann Johnson. His early life was marked by poverty and hardship, with his father abandoning the family when Louis was just a toddler. His mother, a 15-year-old prostitute at the time of his birth, struggled to provide for him and his younger sister, Beatrice. The Armstrong family's neighborhood was a vibrant melting pot of African American, European, and Caribbean cultures, where jazz, blues, and gospel music filled the air. Louis's earliest memories were of listening to the street performers and musicians on Canal Street, including the legendary cornet player Bunk Johnson, who would later become a significant influence on his playing style. As a young boy, Louis attended the Fisk School for Boys, a segregated public school in New Orleans, where he was introduced to music through the school's band program. However, it was his experiences at the Colored Waifs Home for Boys, a reform school on the outskirts of New Orleans, that would prove pivotal in shaping his future as a musician. In 1913, at the age of 12, Louis was arrested for firing a gun in the air on New Year's Eve and was sent to the Colored Waifs home. It was there that he met Peter Davis, the home's band director, who would become a mentor to him. Under Davis's guidance, Louis learned to play the cornet and developed his skills as a musician. The Colored Waifs' home provided Louis with a structured environment where he received regular meals, clothing, and medical care, luxuries he had previously gone without. The home's band program also gave him access to instruments, music lessons, and performance opportunities, which helped to foster his passion for music. During his time at the Colored Waifs home, Louis was exposed to a wide range of musical influences, including gospel, blues, and classical music. He would often sneak into the local churches, where he would listen to the gospel choirs and absorb the harmonies and melodies that would later influence his own music. The historical context of Louis's early years is also significant, as it was a time of great social change in America. The Jim Crow laws, which enforced racial segregation, were in full effect, and African Americans faced significant barriers to education, employment, and equality. Despite these challenges, the African American community in New Orleans thrived, creating a vibrant cultural scene that would become the birthplace of jazz. As we explore the early life of Louis Armstrong, it's clear that his experiences in New Orleans laid the foundation for his future success. The city's unique cultural landscape, with its blend of African, European, and Caribbean influences, shaped his musical style and informed his perspective on the world. From the lively streets of the French Quarter to the Mississippi River levees, where he would often listen to the calliope players on steamboats, Armstrong absorbed the sounds and rhythms that would become synonymous with his name. In 1922, Armstrong joined the Creole Jazz Band, led by Joe King Oliver, a renowned cornet player and mentor to Louis. The band's music was a unique blend of blues, jazz, and ragtime, which would later become known as Dixieland jazz. During his time with the Creole Jazz Band, Louis developed his skills as a musician, learning from King Oliver and other experienced players. Armstrong's big break came in 1924 when he received an offer to join Fletcher Henderson's orchestra in New York City. This was a significant opportunity for Louis, as it would expose him to a wider audience and provide him with the chance to play with some of the most talented musicians of the time. With Henderson's orchestra, Armstrong's unique playing style and charismatic stage presence quickly made him a standout performer. In 1925, Louis began recording with his own group, the Hot Five, which included Kid Ory on trombone, Johnny Dodds on clarinet, Lil Hardin on piano, and Johnny St. Cyr on banjo. These recordings would go on to become some of the most influential in jazz history, showcasing Armstrong's innovative trumpet playing and vocal style. Songs like Heebie Jeebies and Cornet Chop Suey demonstrated Louis' ability to blend traditional jazz with his own unique sound. The late 1920s were a whirlwind period for Armstrong, as he toured extensively throughout the United States and Europe, performing with various bands and musicians. He also began to develop his skills as a singer, incorporating vocals into his performances and recordings. His distinctive gravelly voice and phrasing would become one of the most recognizable in jazz. One of the most significant events of this period was Armstrong's collaboration with pianist Earl Hines. In 1927, Louis and Earl recorded a series of duets, which showcased their remarkable chemistry and musicianship. These recordings, including Weatherbird and Muggles, are still widely regarded as some of the greatest in jazz history. As we explore this period in Armstrong's life, it's clear that his experiences in Chicago and New York City played a significant role in shaping his musical style and career. The vibrant cultural scenes in these cities, with their diverse mix of musicians and influences, provided Lou with the perfect environment to grow and develop as an artist. The historical context of the time is also worth noting. The 1920s were a period of great social change in America, with the Harlem Renaissance underway and African American culture experiencing a resurgence. Armstrong's music was not only a reflection of this cultural shift, but also a driving force behind it, helping to popularize jazz and bring it to a wider audience. The early 1930s saw Armstrong's popularity soar, with his unique blend of jazz, blues, and vocals captivating audiences across the United States. He began to tour extensively, performing with various bands and musicians, including the Louis Russell Orchestra, which he joined in 1935. This period also marked the beginning of Armstrong's foray into film, with appearances in movies such as Pennies from Heaven and Cabin in the Sky. One of the most significant events of this decade was Armstrong's collaboration with producer John Hammond, who helped him secure a recording contract with Brunswick Records. In 1935, Louis recorded a series of sessions with the Louis Russell Orchestra, which resulted in some of his most iconic recordings, including Swing That Music and I'm in the Mood for Love. These recordings showcased Armstrong's remarkable ability to interpret standards and make them his own, cementing his status as one of the greatest jazz singers of all time. The 1940s were a transformative period for Armstrong, marked by significant changes in his personal and professional life. In 1942, he married Lucille Wilson, a dancer and former member of the Cotton Club chorus line, and the couple settled in Queens, New York. This period also saw Armstrong's transition from a small group setting to a larger ensemble, with the formation of his All-Stars Band in 1947. The All-Stars featured a rotating cast of musicians, including Earl Hines, Jack Teagarden, and Barney Bigard, and became one of the most popular and influential jazz groups of the time. Armstrong's work in film continued to flourish during this period, with notable appearances in New Orleans and the Strip. He also began to tour internationally, performing in Europe, Asia, and Africa, and becoming a cultural ambassador for American music. In 1956, Armstrong embarked on a historic tour of Africa, sponsored by the U.S. State Department, which helped to promote cross-cultural understanding and cement his status as a global icon. The 1960s were a decade of great change and turmoil in America, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and social unrest spreading across the country. Armstrong, who had long been a vocal advocate for racial equality, found himself at the forefront of this movement, using his music and platform to speak out against injustice. In 1964, he recorded What a Wonderful World, a song that would become an anthem for the era, and a testament to Armstrong's enduring legacy as a musician and humanitarian. As we approach the final years of Louis Armstrong's life, it's clear that his impact on American music and culture is immeasurable. With a career spanning over 5 decades, he had influenced generations of musicians, from Duke Ellington to Miles Davis, and had helped to shape the course of jazz history. Despite struggling with health issues in his later years, Armstrong continued to perform and record, leaving behind a legacy that would inspire and uplift future generations. As we conclude our journey through the life and career of Louis Armstrong, it's fitting to reflect on his remarkable achievements and the enduring impact he had on American music and culture. From his humble beginnings in New Orleans to his rise as a global icon, Armstrong's story is one of perseverance, creativity, and passion. His music continues to inspire and uplift us today, reminding us of the power of art to transcend borders and bring people together in a shared celebration of humanity. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life and career of Louis Armstrong, a true American original. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.